Hi everyone, welcome to The Culture. My name is Aaliyah Demery and I'll be your host for today's show. Hip hop is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year in 2023. 50 years ago in 1979, the cultural movement made its mark in the Bronx when teenagers threw a back-to-school party at an apartment building rec room with just a pair of turntables. The power of hip hop has sparked social justice movements, cultural influence, and society as a whole. Trust me, there's a lot to be covered here. In this episode, we'll explore the 4 elements making hip hop what it is today: DJing, MCing, graffiti, and breakdancing. But first, we'll give you a quick history lesson with DJ Amir to see how it all started.
Yo. Hey.
Darth, look.
You gotta go, the culture, you gotta go.
You do it for the, we do it for the culture. I do it for the, you do it for the, we do it for the culture. Yup. We do it for the culture.
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 Look, I do it for the, you do it for the, we do it for the culture.
When I think of hip hop, I think of black culture. It's been around for ages now, and you know, it's what's been keeping us afloat, keeping us together, really.
Out of this world. From another planet.
Did you know that DJing was the first element to start the genre of hip hop? When DJ Kool Herc was DJing a back-to-school party in the Bronx, he wanted to try something new by letting an instrumental play a little longer than usual. Then, other people at the party started MCing, or what we call today, rapping over the beat. Back in the 70s, the Bronx were known for their block parties, and they were everywhere. It was a party with family, friends, and community. These people came together to share food and memories, and it became a staple for DJs and MCs to show off their rhymes, rhythms, and flows. DJ Amir is a North Minneapolis native. From a young age, he was always around music, and that's what inspired him to become a DJ. He can remember back to the time when he was first introduced to hip-hop through his uncle from his huge selection of music.
My uncle, he had all the music. He was in high school at the time. I was a kid, and I used to watch him hook up his lights in his room, and he would hook up the electrical to his music, to his stereo, so the lights would pulsate to the beat. And then he'd hook up all these strobe lights, and it was like a club. He had a club in his room.
Hip-hop was a generational storyteller. Similar to DJ Amir, some of our crew members were introduced to hip-hop from their family as well.
For me, hip-hop was like part of my childhood. Like my parents, when they came to this country, listened to hip-hop.
Funny story by my mom, actually. If anybody who knows my mom is a different type. She's a white woman, but she's a white lady with flavor.
I was introduced by my dad, shout out Jawan Winfield, Big Dog.
Even though there wasn't an official hip-hop song yet, it was creeping through soul and funk music, like the Fatback Band with Strokin' and Blowfly with Rap Dirty. It wasn't until 1979 when a suburban group that called themselves the Sugar Hill Gang came out with their first ever multi-platinum song, Rapper's Delight.
Hip hop, the hip to the hip hop, you don't stop, or rockin' to the bang bang boogie, say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. When Rapper's Delight came out, I knew it was big. That's what made me fall in love with hip hop.
Not only did it make DJ Amir fall in love with hip hop, but the whole nation as well. But it was questionable if the genre was gonna stick around much longer.
Everybody was singing it, from kids, babies, on up to the oldest person. Everybody knew it because it was something different. But people put the label, no, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just a fad. It's popcorn music.
But the flows beat the odds when communities all over the country kept it alive.
What happened was they built a roller skate ring in North Minneapolis called Northgate. So everybody in the city would come and party there. And they were playing all the hip hop music. You go to the roller gardens, they play some hip hop music too. So roller skating kind of introduced it, and they had parties at all the park boards in Minneapolis.
Next thing you know, different MCs started to get their big breakthrough, like Run DMC and LL Cool J. DJing played an important role when it came to rocking out parties. It was a skill not everyone could have.
It's the difference between just playing music and controlling the crowd. And that's what I learned, how to control the crowd, how to manipulate the situation, because I'm a drummer first. So I always had a break beat where I could do a solo. And I know the crowd used to be mesmerized by the solo. That's how all bands used to play. The DJ, when they first made all the rap songs, used to have a solo. Watch my DJ get busy.
You see, that's fate. Believe, that's all you need.
Well, you gotta play the music that the crowd likes, and different crowds like different stuff. So you have to be a student of the game. You gotta know music, you gotta know rhythm, you gotta know what's going on in the crowd. That's what takes a good DJ.
Most hip hop nowadays glorify violence, murder, drugs.
That's what some people would assume. But hip hop all over America told a story of the environment around us, which made more and more people relate to it.
From the moment it started, hip hop told a story. It painted a picture about street life. Everywhere there's a ghetto. Everywhere, all over the world. So people started listening to it, and they started relating to the characters that these guys were telling stories about and to the messages they were about. So they really have never stopped carrying that message. That's been all the way from the time of slavery. We had to carry messages in our songs so people couldn't understand it, but the other people really couldn't understand it. That's where hip hop comes from.
We still talk about that today, especially with George Floyd. And they're talking about real life stuff in the hood, like especially Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and especially back then, I feel like it was the 80s epidemic, like it was the crack epidemic. It was already police brutality. Even with Tupac, he talks about how there's literally a division and divide in our country that's still present here 20, 25 years later. So I feel like what they were saying is like an ongoing thing that's happening in the Black community every single day.
Now, here's the time to grab a cold drink or some popcorn because we're just getting started. We've got one element down and 3 more to go. Coming up, we'll talk with a young musical artist, Mac Turner.
Today, we face an unprecedented crisis. Tens of millions of refugees have been forced from their homes. But you can make a difference. Turn disruption and despair to hope and opportunity. Even small amounts make a big difference. Provide shelter, support, or jobs in your community. The more we understand, the greater sense of belonging we create. Act now. Visit supportcrisisrelief.org.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Welcome back to The Culture, everyone. Like I've stated before, in this episode, we're talking all things hip-hop. When you say the word hip-hop, some people might think of a rapper. Rappers are usually known to drive the songs.
It's about the punchlines, the bars, and what the song symbolizes, you know?
Rap different in that it's a real artistry to it.
Grandmaster Flash, Run DMC, and LL Cool J were some of the greatest in the 80s, which some may call it ABC rap. Once we enter the 90s, we got rappers like Tupac, Nas, Bizzy, and we can't forget the famous groups such as Wu-Tang Clan, Outkast, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and NWA. This is when the quote-unquote gangster rap era began. And please don't cancel me if I didn't name your favorite artists. Rappers started to come from different regions across America, and the people loved it. Once we hit the next generation in the 2000s, we had so many rappers coming with different flows and sounds. We had the dancers, the trappers, or sometimes the cappers. And I know y'all remember those songs we had no business listening to.
Lil Wayne for sure, Lollipop, not a good song for kids. But you wouldn't know that because it sounds like a kid song.
Or what's that one song? They see me rolling, they hate it, yeah.
Mac Turner, a young musician from North Minneapolis, says the 2000 era is what got him into music.
When we started wearing the baggy t-shirts and big jeans and stuff like that, Soulja Boy was the first person that made me be like, dude, I think I could do something like that, or I really like hip hop.
Now Mac is making viral songs across social media, getting you to dance, fighting for social justice, and songs to sing to your boo.
Look, most days I be chillin', I be coolin' with the guy.
Mac says watching rappers in the Twin Cities motivated him.
B-Dot Croc, that was one of the first people that caught my attention and showed me that it's possible. And her style of music was her own. And I was like, oh, you don't have to do what you hear on TV, what you see. She made me know that it can be different.
When coming into the game, Mac wanted to make music that could stick with people.
A lot of people are just super hungry for I want to be known right now. And instead of having the J. Cole mindset when it comes to I want longevity, I want people to actually feel when they listen to me so they can go to a song I made 5 years ago and be like, this song's still really good.
And that's exactly what he did.
I've been able to talk about political things, got people to open up their brains to just not thinking every day is just life, so it's so much more to life. I've made songs about the culture and the things that I see that could be better, things that should be fixed, things that I don't like about it and stuff like that. And people have expressed to me how that made them see things different for our community.
Now, Mac uses his talent to motivate others in the community.
I get a lot of love, especially from the youth. The younger people show a lot of love. They always let me know too, how influential I was for their path. Hello to my brothers and all of my sisters. I hope that you're listening. This is for everyone, just for the moment. Promise that we could be siblings. Love yourself. Don't go out loving this world. This world got no sympathy. You only hurting yourself when you focus on negative energy. Yeah, hey. They say they love you, but just to be technical, nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah, yeah. Or maybe it's selfish of me to be mad that you ain't in my shows. Cause you got a life of your own, but scratch it, I'm blessed. This morning I woke up with a smile on my face, yeah. Can't change last night, so they'll have a good day, yeah. Straight for the light.
Hip-hop has one of the biggest influence in the world.
It's everywhere. How it's literally the foundation of a lot of culture, of the culture.
Media outlets has been one of the key tools that's been pushing hip hop for 50 years.
I would always go to my cousin's house and we would have the TV on and BET and MTV would be on and I would just watch music videos. And then a lot of them would be hip hop music videos.
It has introduced so many more people to maybe not I wouldn't say fake people, but I would say people that don't know what the real meaning of hip hop is. We have the streetwear, we have the hair, but that's from blackness. That's what essentially blackness is.
With any fames comes haters and copycats, but how can we get everyone involved?
Pay respect to the founders, or like people that you take inspiration from, or people that like you see that you're like, oh, I like them, like shout them out, like give us something more than just music. Give us what made you like want to make like music like this, or like what made you like rock with this type of music, you know what I mean?
That leaves us with the question, what really is the future of hip hop?
The moment we're in right now, it's iffy. Like, it's a lot of good, a lot of bad, but it's just like, it's getting to the point where it's like watered down, to where it's like, it's not too much substance.
Honestly, like, I think hip hop is a big influence in the Black community, and I think hip hop is what kind of shapes us who we are, and without those voices now, back then and now, I feel like it needs to keep on going.
Because it can never like really be dead, because you always gonna have people that love to make music. Like right now it seemed dead because, you know, like right now everything seemed dead, but you're gonna have like in about 3 years or something, you're gonna have some people crack through and stuff, because you know people are always wondering who the next Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole. We don't see it yet, but I think it's always gonna come, because that's just how time often always repeats itself.
So we've talked to an expert rapper and a DJ. Coming up, we're going to cover the last two elements of hip hop, and it's something you don't want to miss. So stay right there.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year, because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Hutchinson, man, has been dominating defense.
You were talking Sauce Gardner, now you throw Hutchinson
No,
out
but
here
if
on
you
the
want a
north.
sleeper,
No.
he's a sleeper.
Ladies and gentlemen. Get ready.
No.
The Suns are mentally weak. They're mentally fragile.
You don't know what you're talking about.
It's crunch time.
I'm finding it hard to believe. Who don't want to party with me? We dance till 2:45. The Red Bull is giving me wings. I'm really as lit as I seem. It ain't over till Big Mama sings.
Graffiti is known as an illegal form of art, made up of different phrases and symbols with meanings. Guillermo Valdez is a graffiti artist from Las Vegas, Nevada, that now lives in St. Paul, working as a professional artist.
I've been interested in art since I was in the elementary school, since I started drawing like people's names in graffiti style, and I started doing cars, like drawing people like cars, like drawing car drawings. That's where I started.
Traveling with his family boosted his love for graffiti.
I will see the graffiti everywhere in the trains, in California, everywhere. So that's like my inspiration.
Tagging became a big thing for artists across the world. It was a way to get your name out there and mark your territory. As a young child, Guillermo would get caught doing things with his friends.
Me and my best friend would always do like taggings on paper, and then until we got expelled from school in elementary. We did graffiti in the bathroom.
Guillermo's style of art has a wide range.
My style is a variety, a mixture like of 3D art and graffiti. I mix it up, with fine art.
Guillermo is involved in other elements of hip hop as well.
I started breakdancing since like elementary school. All my buddies, they breakdance, so I just got into breakdance. We'll have like meetups. We'll have every time like meetups every week and breakdance, and then we'll leave to skateboard after and go tagging.
In the 70s in New York, breakdancing became a movement of expression, especially in the Black and Latino communities. In the 70s, New York DJs would call out b-boys, which was a signal for them to hit their solos during a DJ break.
Spinning on our heads, handstanding, and leg movements, footsteps.
Today, breakdancing has evolved into so many different dances within hip-hop in different regions, and also encouraged people to dance in general. Araya Smith is an alumni of St. Cloud State University. She's also a dancer and was a board member of the campus's dance group Dynasty. She was overjoyed when she first found out about the group.
I've been dancing for almost 20 years, so like when I seen like a dance team, I was like, oh snap, I'm excited.
The dance group became a great outlet for her outside of class.
Going to Dynasty was like just such a relief, like a break from reality. I can't even begin to tell you like some of the crap Dynasty has put me out of.
The group was a way to express her creativity.
We kind of all listen to the same genre of music, but we all don't dance the same way. So like that was also the flavor that I just loved.
Araya found her love with dance through ballet as a toddler, but when she got older, she switched genres.
I got to high school and found hip hop, and I was like, oh, scratch all this other stuff.
Araya felt like she was around people where she felt welcome.
I think it was really just like the culture of me finally feeling like I had like my group of people, because I think the reason I didn't like ballet as much growing up is that I felt like I never fit in ballet. Because, like ballet, I was maybe like one of 3 black girls in the entire room. And I just kind of felt like I was sticking out like a sore thumb the whole time. So when I found hip hop at I had to be like 14. So yeah, when I found hip hop at 14, I was like, oh, this is home.
I'm just searching for the light. I'm just searching for the light. I'm just searching for the lightness. I know my haters won't like this. I know I'm looking like a snack too, Scooby-Doo, but baby, don't bite this.
When the beat drops, I'm ready to throw in every bone in my body and just start going off. It's like something that punches me straight in the chest and I just want to move.
Even though we've covered all of the elements of hip-hop, we're not done yet. After the break, we're going to give KVSC Radio News Director a quick pop quiz of hip-hop's history. So stay tuned.
Hutchinson, man, has been dominating defense.
You were talking Sauce Gardner, now you throw Hutchinson out here on the
sleeper.
No.
He's a sleeper.
Ladies and gentlemen. Get ready.
No.
The Suns are mentally weak. They're mentally fragile.
You don't know what you're talking about. You need to say
It's crunch time.
Hi, I'm not Greg Marcus.
And I'm also not Greg Marcus.
And welcome to Back to the Movies.
If you want to watch 2, occasionally 3, college students talk about the movies they love and hate.
Catch a new episode every other Friday on UTVS at 8 p.m. Also available on Vimeo. So please, join us.
Now, if you'll excuse us, we have to get back to the movies.
It's okay, just take my hand now. Damn near sweating your hair out. You got me creasing my sneakers.
My name is Winston Johnson. I'm the music director down here at KVSC, or Sound Alternative 88.1 FM. I've been the music director since March of 2021, and I've worked here and volunteered since January of that year. There were other kind of sub-pockets that were popping up around Chicago and all of that, but New York, you know, you had the proto hip-hop even of the last poets, the beat poetry, Gil Scott-Heron. It was percolating out of New York. You know, I've actually never sat down and thought about that. I'd imagine it'd probably be lyricism, rhythm, I think production, because it's all, you know, about percussive and production and splicing of recordings has always been a very big part of hip hop. And phone a friend, I think. Oh, okay. Oh, got it. Okay. First one to win a Grammy. I bet it was like something like Tone Loc or something like that, and there probably were like better artists nominated or something like that. But, sure, I'll go with Tone Loc. Probably from a historical perspective, I think that probably I would need to go with Tupac and Missy Misdemeanor Elliott. So those would probably be the two. But there's so many. I'm down here in the basement of Stewart Hall. I want to think of more words, but that is all.
Hi, I'm not Greg Marcus.
And I'm also not Greg Marcus.
And welcome to Back to the Movies.
If you want to watch 2, occasionally 3, college students talk about the movies they love and hate.
Catch a new episode every other Friday on UTVS at 8 p.m. Also available on Vimeo. So please, join us.
Now, if you'll excuse us, we have to get back to the movies.